I'm the better leader. No, I was the better leader. No, I'm the better leader. Alright, you two, stop.
Kaiju Master? How the heck did you get in my house?
What the heck you call me?
Hank? You know, your name? That doesn't answer my question, though. How'd you get in my house?
I just teleported.
Okay, that checks out. What are you here for?
Get away from the fanboys and fangirls. There's actually some fangirls now.
Hey, want to review a movie while we're here?
Sure.
How about this one?
Not really, but okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tanks Talks Movies.
Yeah, I'm proud I'm at guest hosting today. And today we're going to be talking about X-Men Origins Wolverine. Let's get on with the story. Or something.
Yeah. Where the hell do we begin? Oh, shit. Well, actually, it's my show, I guess. Where the hell do we start?
How about with that opening that really doesn't tie into the rest of the film aside from establishing that Sabretooth and Wolverine are brothers? It's really all that... I don't like that opening scene because, honestly, like, two characters die and we don't get any...
We have no idea who the hell they are.
Aside from one...
Wants to be a stepfather or some shit.
All we know is that Wolverine's dad gets killed, and then Wolverine kills his dad because it turns out the guy that was killed first wasn't Wolverine's dad, and headache. Honestly, the series did the film did not establish these characters, so I didn't care that they died.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's pretty much pointless to have them even in the film. But we see a very young Wolverine, Logan or Jimmy or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, we'll address that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes to a montage of opening credits that's basically Wolverine and Sabretooth in
every type of war.
Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korean, probably Vietnam. I'm not sure which ones.
Well, we're not really sure at all on which ones wars they were in.
And then Sabretooth does some stuff, and then both he and Wolverine wind up in jail.
Yeah, and then Stryker guy?
Yeah.
Stryker. Yes. He shows up, and we have, well...
He hires them to his team.
Mm-hmm. And probably the only good person in this entire film, Wade Wilson, is in this film.
And he's so underutilized.
Probably one of the best scenes is where he's chopping up a bunch of bullets when they're being fired at him.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome, even if it has nothing to do with his actual character in the comics.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good reason why the Deadpool movie kept poking fun at this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Stryker hires them to a team with a bunch of other mutants. A guy who can control electronics, a guy who can teleport, a guy who can...
I believe the dude that teleports is possibly somehow a relation to Nightcrawler, besides the weird color differences.
Nope, he's a member of the Black Eyed Peas.
He's right.
And then, of course, the previously mentioned Wade, and then some dude who's unmovable, and that's obviously the Blob. The Blob.
The Blob.
Before he was Blobby.
Honestly, he ends up getting a tattoo on his arm of a very skinny lady. Pretty much after a while, he kind of gets an eating disorder.
Yeah,
well, the opposite of a demon.
That's later.
Yeah.
So then after that, they have their first mission, which is to, I guess, bust up this drug ring or something.
Something like that.
Except Stryker's only there for like a meteorite paperweight that the dude has.
Yeah. But I believe that's how the adamantium is made.
Yeah, that's clearly the adamantium. But he's like, okay, where'd you get this? It was like some village in like South America or something. I can't remember
either.
So they go down there, and then it's like, where'd you find this stuff? It's got the whole village held hostage.
Of course, Wade's the one doing like the narration, or not narration, but
Comic relief.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Translation, that's the word I was trying to think of.
Oh yeah, translation, yeah.
Yeah. And like, Stryker pretty much tells him he'll kill everyone in the village that, if they don't tell him where they got it. And they said pretty much it comes from the sky. And Logan, or Jimmy, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that up now. The film doesn't establish why Sabretooth keeps calling him Jimmy. Does he do that in the first three films?
The first three films, they are just pure enemies.
But does he call him Jimmy, or does he call him Logan? Huh?
Neither.
Yeah. Wolverine then?
Pretty much.
Okay, so yeah. So the film, I get that Wolverine's character is named James Hewlett. So, calling him Jimmy. But what I don't understand is why everyone just starts randomly calling him Logan if they're not Sabretooth.
Yeah, it doesn't really make too much sense on it, but it's just... who the hell knows?
I mean, I kind of actually had to look this up to find out that Logan's actual dad was named Thomas Logan. Mm-hmm. Which might explain it, but the film does nothing to explain why he's called Logan and Jimmy interchangeably.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go back to the...
where they're keeping the people hostage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Logan, Jimmy, or Wolverine, or whatever you want to call him, he pretty much says they're telling the truth. It's a meteor fragment. It came from the sky.
Because he can, sense stuff like that.
Yeah, because
wild instincts or something.
Mm-hmm. So he he's like, Stryker pretty much tells everyone to just start slaughtering people. Victor is pretty much taking out most of them.
Because he's a psychopath.
If you ever read the comics, or like, all the movies have made him tamer than hell. The comic books, he's a fucking psychopath. Yeah,
I've really only read Deadpool stuff, but the stuff that Sabretooth shows up in Deadpool is just nuts. It's like, oh, jeez, did he really... Oh, my.
Yeah. Then Logan, Jimmy, whatever you want to call him,
he finally snaps and is like, you know what, I'm not going to have your back like it was established at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention that, but...
Yeah, but this is pretty much where Logan leaves us. I'm just going to call him Logan because I'm used to hearing called Logan. He pretty much leaves. He goes, I guess he's up in Canada. He's got a girlfriend or a wife or I believe it's just a lover.
Yeah.
And I like their chemistry together. Because it's like she keeps him pretty calm until he has weird dreams.
Now, I would like to point out that at this point it's been like 20 minutes into the film, and so I just honestly feel that the pacing up to this point and even past this is kind of wonky. And I get that they kind of needed to condense a whole lot of stuff to fit it into a hour and 40-minute movie.
Yeah.
But it just rubs me the wrong way, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't even got to this part that really rubbed us the wrong way.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're up in Canada.
He's kind of a lumberjack type guy for a job wise.
Yeah.
And
the strength.
Well, I guess. His girlfriend pretty much drops him off at work. The rest of his crew kind of tease him because she makes him have to give her a kiss goodbye. Then they're off to cut some wood, and then Stryker and
no, it's then cuts. I think it cuts to the guy. Who
Oh yeah, the guy that can control electricity.
Well, he's since left Stryker's group and is now working as a carnival freak, sort of.
Yeah.
With like a little shack.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
You gotta
shut off this light bulb and you get a prize. And the lady's like, okay, flips the switch, stays on.
tries to unplug it.
Stays on.
Her
boyfriend's like unscrews it.
Still on.
Still on. Drops the shocks. Is like, yeah.
He pretty much. It looks like he gets it really, really hot, and it pretty much burns him.
Yeah.
Then he drops it. He's like, it was a stupid trick anyway. Just walks away. Not a trick, man.
So he's kind of living just kind of a peaceful life.
He's a carny.
He's a carny. He seems to not be missing being a soldier. He doesn't seem terribly happy, but
no. Then he gets a visitor in Victor.
Sabretooth.
Mm-hmm.
Who just, I guess, messes him up. We don't really.
Yeah, we never really see, but apparently they find in the newspaper they say he was murdered.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sabretooth could probably do it.
Yeah. Also, Sabretooth quickly mentioned that Wade's already dead. So.
Yeah, because the guy who can control electricity, he thought Wade would be coming to his door.
Yeah, but no.
No. And I guess this is prior to Wade Wilson actually getting his abilities.
His abilities were swordplay, apparently. That's his mutant power in this film.
Alright. Yeah, so then Stryker pretty much goes to where Logan is working with a guy who has the ability to shoot really good. Agent Zero.
He was also on the team. I forgot to mention him because he is such a non-character in this.
Yeah, just like...
He barely factors in until he actually matters. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so pretty much, Logan has a big cigar in his mouth. Well, it's Wolverine. Come on. Even in the cartoon, the guy smoked.
Yeah. Can't get away from that.
Yeah. All of a sudden, just quickly pulled out a pistol, shot the cigar. I see you're still smoking those cheap cigars.
I don't recall that. I may have looked away at that point, but okay.
Yeah, you might have been looking at the Twitters.
But anyway, Stryker is basically telling him, hey, Wade and this other guy are dead. Sabretooth got him. Mm-hmm. You watch your ass.
I'll be fine. Blah, blah, blah.
You sure? Because we could totally, help you. I'll be fine.
Yep. Then
Sabretooth shows up and kills what's-her-face.
Yeah, kills Logan's girlfriend.
And he's like, no. And then Stryker's like, yeah, we figured it out. It was Sabretooth.
Mm-hmm.
Because earlier he didn't know it was Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Then he finds Sabretooth at a bar.
No, wait, he's realized that it's Sabretooth and then goes to
he realizes it was Sabretooth.
Stryker hasn't shown back up
yet. He goes and...
Sabretooth is like, says to the bartender, like, you got insurance?
No. The bartender goes, no.
And you guys are probably going to want to leave.
Hey guys,
take it outside.
All of a sudden bone claws come out of...
And then everybody else takes it outside.
Yeah. So they're pretty much beating the snot out of each other in the bar.
And it's a pretty good fight between the two.
Sabretooth is winning mostly.
Sabretooth wins.
And he ends up breaking Logan's, at least one of Logan's bone claws that come out of his hand.
Healing factor, so.
Yeah, healing. Okay, then, he pretty much gets crushed by a bunch of, logs. He ends up just with ease, just chucking one of those logs and grabs Logan and just chucks him into a semi. Then, I guess EMTs show up and they're trying to fix him, and he's just like...
They take him into the emergency room.
There's nothing wrong with the guy.
The dude's like, are you joking me? And Logan wakes up, it's like, Spot Striker outside the
Yeah.
emergency room. It's like, you didn't tell me it was Sabretooth. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. But I know a way we can help you to fight him. Just come with me. We're gonna put metal on your belt. So take him to the Weapon X facility.
Yeah.
Do the process. Put the adamantium on his bones.
Yep.
And for a little bit they think he's dead because he's flatlined. But then, boop,
Hailing factor.
boop, yep.
And
then Stryker tells Zero, is like, brace his memory. And Wolverine
he has super hearing.
hears it, is like, no!
And we have a naked Logan running around.
He just messes the place up,
Yeah.
escapes, runs off into the snowy night.
Yeah. Jumps off of a waterfall. And then all of a sudden this elderly couple is driving past.
They're driving up to their home when Logan just runs past, still completely
Just
naked.
and just like,
And the lady's like, I think there's a naked man in our barn.
I think so too, says the old man.
The old man goes in with
He's got
his
a shotgun.
He got a shotgun. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He finds Logan's like, you on drugs? Like,
No.
Bad night?
You can say that.
Alright, come on. Come on. Come on up to the house. Put this bag around. Don't want to give the old lady a heart attack. And honestly, these two characters are my favorite characters in the entire movie.
Yeah, they are pretty interesting because they're like two of the nicest people. Because some other people just see someone on their land, you know, they just grab the shotgun, boom.
The old man's like, you have a hard night? Like, come on.
Yep.
Get me fixed up.
Apparently, they have a son that has passed on,
Yeah.
and they give him some of his clothes to wear.
Yeah. Logan, for the first time, actually gets a good look at his new metal claws.
Yep.
And accidentally slices up their sink.
Yep. The bathroom sink is just sliced off, just like, and he accidentally punctures
radiator.
Yeah, just like.
You okay in there?
I'll pay for this. He walks out with part of the sink in his hand.
I will pay for this. And they're actually kind of cool about it.
Yeah,
Like,
just like,
okay.
okay. Okay, then,
Have a nice meal.
mm-hmm.
Logan mentions that he's noticed the guy's cycle.
Yeah.
And he and the old guy get talking about that. Which apparently was...
The sons.
Okay, yeah, it was the sons. And so they bond over that.
Yeah.
The old man gives a look out in the barn. They're looking over the
Motorcycle.
the chopper, and the old guy gives Logan his son's jacket.
That has some interesting colors.
The classic yellow and brown, which I really wish they would give Wolverine his original outfit at some point in the movies or something.
I believe in the third one they might be giving him at least the yellow and blue.
They get it better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with all the movies that have come out recently with comic accurate costumes, they should.
Well, for fuck's sake, let's see. Deadpool is probably the most accurate out of all of them that's come out so far.
Well, the new
Daredevil is pretty interesting. The television show.
Yeah. The new Spider-Man that they got in Civil War also has the eyes, which are in the comic, which is nice.
Yes. I think they're finally listening to the fans.
Well, to be fair, a lot of that is on Marvel's end, outside of Deadpool. But,
Yeah.
But Fox was like, okay, Anyway, we'll touch on Deadpool later.
Yeah. And...
Because...
Okay, now let's get back to the story the movie we're actually supposed to be talking about.
So yeah, they're in the barn bonding. The old lady comes in, and then she gets shot through the back.
Yeah.
And then the old guy gets shot, and honestly, that was the most devastating part of the movie. Because I really liked those two characters.
Yes, because just like... Even while we were watching it, Luke said, "Ha! The two
characters I actually liked."
And just, I told them, don't get too fond of them. And, they blow up the barn. Logan's driving the motorcycle. Oh, actually, prior to them getting shot, Logan actually sits, the old man tells him to sit on the motorcycle, and it just, boom!
Put it all away.
Yeah,
say that?
exactly. Yeah. You're heavy. And a chopper shouldn't go down that easily.
Yeah.
Alright. The old man and the old woman are shot. And
it's by that Zero guy.
Yeah.
I forgot to that I had
he's
forgotten
so
about.
underused in the movie, it's not even...
Yeah, it's when he ultimately gets killed by Logan because, he murdered an old couple.
But
it is really more satisfying than it's like, he killed a teammate. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah. There's like claws came out and just like made a spark, and the spark landed in some gasoline that the helicopter was leaking out, and it got boom.
And at some point, I think Zero mentions an island or something.
Something like that, yes. But actually, then after that, Logan goes to meet the teleporting guy.
And the immovable guy.
Yep. Blob.
Who's the teleporting guy who acts as the movable as Blob's manager.
Yes.
And his name is Wraith. We'll just put out.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't know anything, but maybe immovable guy.
Yeah.
Frank, was it?
I don't remember.
Anyway, they go to talk to him, and he has put on a lot of weight.
Oh yeah.
And Logan's like, come on,
Bub.
did you just call me Blob?
Like, no, I said Blob.
Sends Logan flying.
Yep.
And then Wraith's like, I told you not to call him Blob. I didn't. I called him. I said Bub.
Yeah.
So anyway, Logan has to get into a boxing match with Blob to get information.
Yeah.
And he does manage to win, but only because his adamantium skeleton is a lot stronger than Blob's immovability.
Yeah, it was just a straight up, pretty much Blob tried to headbutt him and he got discombobulated.
And then Logan's like, I can use this to my advantage.
Just all of a sudden, just like a straight downward thrusting.
That's actually a pretty clever fight,
yeah.
I will admit.
Mm-hmm.
So
he got some information. But I feel bad for the Blob because I swear he couldn't get up by himself.
And so Blob is telling him some stuff, and then
then it cuts to Victor at a school.
Victor going after this kid,
Scott Summers,
who prior to him being pursued by Sabretooth had been called out in class for having sunglasses on, and honestly, you'd think that. Unless this was like day one, the teacher would already be aware of Scott's condition.
Yeah.
Or at least have had some forewarning.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, it's because he shoots concussive blasts out of his eyes.
It's not like a heat beam. It's a concussion blast.
Yeah, that's a common misconception.
Mm-hmm. That the first couple X-Men movies didn't realize, and buildings were set on fire and. Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, there's a brief skirmish between Sabretooth and Scott.
Yeah.
And the part of the school gets blown out because of Scott's eye beams.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Sabretooth has Scott pinned down, another guy shows up, and it's revealed to be Stryker.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to Blob revealing that it was Stryker, and I honestly felt
they're working together.
I honestly felt that the reveal should have been Stryker walks up, still unrevealed, cut back to Blob revealing that Sabretooth and Stryker are working together, and then cut back to reveal it is Stryker.
Yeah. That
would have worked a bit better as the reveal.
Mm-hmm.
As it stands, it's a pretty weak reveal.
Yeah. Then it cuts to Logan and Wraith leaving to
go down to Louisiana because Blob mentions that there was some guy who did escape from the island called Remy LeBeau,
a.k.a. Gambit,
which we'll be referring to him as throughout the rest of the film because Gambit is an awesome name.
Yes. And I'll be kind of interested on the upcoming possibly movie that's coming in a few years X-Men Origins Gambit.
I'll probably miss it because I usually do.
Yeah, he's not really into like updated films.
I'm not really too into films in general, unless they interest me like Deadpool would. I'm not a big good comic, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go to Louisiana, meet Remy.
And he's just pretty much showing off his powers with all these different cards.
I don't think that was actually a power he had.
No.
Because that was clearly CGI.
Yeah. Then he charged up some cards and he chucked them at
Wolverine, because he noticed Wolverine's dog tags from the adamantium. So he thinks that Wolverine's there to take him back to the island.
Then,
And by this point, Remy has basically revealed that the island is 3 Mile Island. Keep in mind that this is still set before that whole incident, and we'll get into that. So yeah, there's the fight between Wolverine and Gambit goes, and then Sabretooth shows up.
Then Logan tries to go after Sabretooth for a little bit.
And then Gambit, still thinking that Wolverine is trying to capture him, ends up allowing Sabretooth to escape.
Yeah. But there's a funny scene where Gambit is pretty much behind Logan, and Logan just elbows him in the back of the... Then, you know, he the staff and...
And that's how Sabretooth manages to get away in the confusion of that. And then Logan is pissed off. It's like,
I'm going to deal with you.
I'm going to deal with you. But first I'm going to deal with that other guy that was after you.
Yeah.
And me. And so Remy's like, okay, you're on the up and up. Okay.
Yeah.
So they go to 3 Mile Island, and then Wolverine... I don't know if this was a plot point in the previous 3 films, but I guess Wolverine can't really handle flying. Because this is like the second scene where he's flying and showing.
He's never really had any issues in the other films about flying, but maybe it's because in the other films he already had his memory erased and stuff. So
we'll get to that. But so Wolverine just jumps out of the plane.
Yeah.
Gets to 3 Mile Island, and on the island, Stryker is working with the guys there to implant mutant powers into this Weapon 11.
Yes.
It gets called.
The Weapon of... Yep.
And Logan shows up, and Stryker, not even looking at him, hello, Logan. And there's a bunch of exposition how Stryker's been gathering all these mutants to get their powers implanted into this Deadpool Weapon 11. We'll get to this. We'll get to this. And then it also reveals that Wolverine's girlfriend isn't actually dead. She'd actually been working for Stryker. Though she later admits that the love was real. Yeah. The love was real. And then there was a fight between Logan and Sabretooth.
And Logan's pretty much winning this time around.
And then, and then Logan and What's-Her-Face go off to free the captive mutants.
She says she has a sister.
Emma
Snow.
Frost. Emma Frost. Who, if you know, in the comics and the current movies, has diamond skin.
Interesting.
Which actually comes into play when they're...
Yeah, trying to escape. There's firing. People are just firing bullets at all the mutants. And she just turns crystallized and...
She turns diamond and saves everybody.
Scott says he could help.
And she acts as a shield to him. He unleashes...
takes out a couple people.
A bunch of people. They're shooting at him.
Yep. Then all of a sudden,
and then
Charles Xavier is...
No, that doesn't happen yet. The whole group of escapees are getting to this point, and then they're confronted by Deadpool. Everybody, what did they do to you?
Why the hell am I not at my place? I could have a drink right here.
What did they do to you?
Yes.
Oh.
Wade.
If you haven't seen what he looks like, we'll cut here and show you a picture.
Yeah.
See, if you, and then he has like Baraka blades.
See, I even brought this up in our first Deadpool review. The original Deadpool does not have Baraka swords in his arms.
The original Deadpool doesn't look like that clusterfuck of a thing.
Deadpool has a mouth, people. Deadpool has a mouth.
And Logan pretty quickly realizes it's Wayne.
Yeah,
and it's like
he actually even feels bad.
So they finally figured out how to shut you up. They sew his goddamn mouth shut.
Okay.
So anyway, Logan and Deadpool
Are fighting.
go off and fight. Well, Silver Fox, let's call her.
Okay.
That's who she's based on. Goes with the other mutants to try and escape, but at some point she gets shot, and she has the other captive.
Yeah, she ends up pretty much tells Emma to take them.
Get them to safety.
Then Scott
Gets a psychic message telling him to go left once they reach a fork in the road.
Yep.
And so they go there and they find a helicopter with
Charles.
With Charles Xavier, who looks nothing like James McAvoy, I should mention. Not a thing like him. Looks more like Patrick Stewart. What the fuck's up with that? I know it's time lapse. Yeah, they haven't been. Yeah. It's a joke.
Yeah. It's funny though. When he mentioned it when we were watching the movie or forcing ourselves through.
He cracked the fuck up.
Because James McAvoy is
currently playing
Charles
Xavier, and he hadn't been cast in the role when this film came out.
Yes.
In fact, he wouldn't be cast for like
a couple years.
The next film, I think.
I think it was a few more years.
Well, I think it was the next film, First Class.
Yeah. Then, okay.
Yeah,
they all get onto the helicopter, and then we see the fight.
Then we see the fight between Wolverine and not Deadpool.
And then Sabretooth shows up to help Logan.
And because Deadpool is kind of dominating the fight, what with his teleportation, I-beams, Baraka blades and shit. Healing factor, fucking... Well, at least the healing factor is right. That's the only good...
But he got it from frickin' Wolverine's DNA.
Yeah.
It wasn't activated itself.
I think they also got the blade power from him, too.
Yeah.
We are not pleased with Deadpool in this.
Mm-hmm. We're not.
It's like, I even knew it was bad going into this.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the movie, but I'd seen pictures.
Yeah, and how he got the black marks to make pretty much...
I-beams.
The I-beam was burning his skin.
In this, yeah. So ultimately Logan and Sabretooth managed to defeat...
Yeah, he ends up grabbing a hold of... Sabretooth ends up grabbing Deadpool.
Grabbing Deadpool and then and Wolverine cuts off his head.
Yep. As his head
falling into the...
Deadpool's head is shooting a beam out of its eyes.
And that basically is what causes the 3 Mile Island disaster.
Yeah.
And then at some point, I forget exactly how, but after the fight, Sabretooth just walks off.
Yeah.
It's like, we're done as friends.
Yes.
You're just now going off the friendship, brotherhood, or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Say it wasn't the point when Logan tried to attack you, or when you fake murdered his girlfriend, or whatever. So Wolverine is not in a good way, or he's about to be reunited with his girlfriend,
And he saw that
and she's
bleeding. He's dead. So she's
and
dying.
then he gets shot a couple times.
Yeah.
And it turns out Stryker isn't dead.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's shooting Logan with adamantium bullets. By the
and
way.
he manages to shoot him a few times. And they had introduced this gun and the bullets earlier in the film, so it's not a surprise that he suddenly has bullets that can penetrate Wolverine's skull.
Yeah.
So he pops a couple slugs into his brain, basically erasing his memories.
Mm-hmm. Then his girlfriend pretty much grabs his leg.
She grabs Stryker and it's like, just turn around and walk until your feet bleed, and then keep walking.
And
harsh. And I guess he does, because at some point he stops and it's like, "Are you Stryker? You're being brought in for the death of this military general who he killed earlier in the film, because in a scene that really didn't affect anything.
No.
As far as the plot. And then back on 3 Mile Island, Silver Fox is dead. Wolverine is coming to his senses. Gambit's like, "Hey, you okay?"
We better get...
He's like, "What's my name?" Logan. Your name's Logan. You know her? No.
But he did the respectable thing by closing her eyes.
Yeah, and then they leave, and then the film comes to an end, and honestly...
There's an end credit that's just...
There's an end credit sequence where it's revealed that not Deadpool is not dead. Also, his mouth is now unsewn together.
Yes. You know what? Just look on the Wikipedia page of X-Men Origins Wolverine. Even
Hugh Jackman admits that he does not care for this film.
Movie. Just like, oh.
And while he's probably the best part of this movie, it doesn't save the film from being kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Both with pacing, how poorly they handle some of the characters, just that odd opening sequence that really doesn't factor too much into the rest of the film.
None at all.
Makes you wonder why it was even included. Honestly, I feel that X-Men Origins Wolverine could have probably been better as multiple movies.
Yeah.
Like, not simply a single movie. This is one of those instances where I feel that it would have been better as separate movies rather than single.
Yeah.
Not that I've really ever seen any of those others. Let's chop up this story into multiple parts films. Like,
what about Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings was already like that.
That's true. And
the Hobbit. The Hobbit is where it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. That was originally one book split into 3 movies. And what they did with Deadpool is just...
No.
But I do have a way of potentially saving this movie from being complete shite.
Bullshit.
And that is bringing back the stunt actor who played Deadpool in this as the same character in some upcoming actual Deadpool movie, but give him the name T-Ray. And if you know anything about the comics, you probably understand where I'm going with this. And if you haven't read the comics, I'm going to put up a big spoiler thing here. Spoilers for the comics.
Spoilers.
In the comics, T-Ray is a constant nemesis to Deadpool. But it doesn't really become clear until towards the end of Joe Kelly's run writing the Deadpool comics, where it's revealed that T-Ray is the original Wade Wilson. And that apparently Deadpool had stolen his identity in a past incident. And while this is still a topic of debate even in the comic community, and even in the comics themselves, which kind of flip-flop between, okay, who is the real Wade Wilson, I feel that this could be a potential for a future Deadpool movie idea. Bringing back the stunt actor who played Deadpool in Origins and have him fight with Ryan Reynolds' actual Deadpool. And thank God Ryan Reynolds reprised the Deadpool role and did it phenomenally in the new film.
Correct.
Well, as far as that I can think is the only way to actually salvage this
Pile of shit.
this terrible iteration of Deadpool.
Well,
this has gone on for longer than
we expected. Sorry for our ranting. This has been Tank Talks Movies, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I've been Protomath guesting on this.
And I'm the Kaiju. Wait, what the hell? Again? What is
Tank, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
We're signing off. Peace.